ain't got no plans at all. Evil man's always transcending. Fighter like sheep, swallow everything. Always simpletons or pretending.
This is your moment of clarity from LeeCamp.net. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited about the gay marriage decision. I'm excited that we've decided there can't be a federal law banning love for a large number of Americans. And as I've said before, gay marriage is not harming anyone. What's harming people is straight couples getting married and having like 72 kids. If you want to get married, but if you want to have a kid over like 2 or 3, I think it should be voted on by everyone else on a case-by-case basis. So if you want to fire 14 kids into this world out of your semi-automatic assault vagina, they better be top of the line. If you want to shoot dozens of fleshy half-wits, hordes of hairless dip into the faces of innocent civilians, I think the rest of us should have a say. So I'm excited for the added equality our country now has, but we also must not allow this to be a distraction from the fact that our system continues to be gutted and befouled, muted and cowed. The Supreme Court tore up the Voting Rights Act the other day, so apparently we're back in 1965. Can't wait for them to put the separate water fountains back in. In fact, I'm just excited to see a water fountain again, as opposed to $3 bottled water shipped in from Canada and pissed in by Coca-Cola. Also, the NSA spying scandal has shown us that we no longer have our freedom from unreasonable, unwarranted search and seizure. In fact, that right was so important, I think it's in the Constitution. Let me check. Yeah, it is. Do you think they use like a whiteout to cover that up, or is it like a erasable pen situation, or maybe one of those Mad Magazine fold-over dealies? They just fold over the Fourth Amendment, cover it up that way. And finally, they're going after freedom of speech and expression. Jeff Olson is a man in San Diego who now faces a 13-year jail sentence for drawing anti-Bank of America messages on the sidewalk in chalk. As in the that cannot be removed from a sidewalk ever, unless there's a light drizzle. And it gets even better. The judge has forbid Olson and his lawyer from even mentioning freedom of speech or freedom of expression in the courtroom. Not only has our freedom of speech been taken away, but it's so scary to the rich and powerful, just the mention of it could wreak havoc on our society. You can't just be speaking anything you want left and right. What's next? Man gonna marry a goat? We've gone from the Constitution being the thing that was supposed to guide our courts to it being the thing you can't even mention in the courts. By the way, Bank of America is about as evil as they come. Jeff Olson's chalk messages were the equivalent of throwing marshmallows at a 300-foot dragon with Tourette's, because fire-breathing Tourette's would be like the worst kind of Tourette's. You know, the dragon walks up to his friends like, "Hey guys, how you Boom! Whole village on fire." Bank of America is currently facing a class action lawsuit from former employees across the country who said they were pressured and bribed to tell homeowners they would help them stay in their homes, and meanwhile doing everything they could to get them foreclosed on. Bank of America took money from government agencies designed to help people keep their homes, pocketed it, and then still kicked the homeowners out. Putting the bank execs in jail, they should be tarred and feathered. I mean, if there's any place that deserves some chalk messages calling them greed-infected viruses completely morally vacant, it's Bank of America. And Jeff Olson could go to jail for that, while Bank of America continues to walk free. Let's defend this man and those like him. Let's defend freedom of speech. That's been your moment of clarity from LeeCamp.net. The music here at the end is by George Martinez and the Global Block Collective. I'll have the link to that album in the description, as well as the links to all the info I mentioned, including Jeff Olson's story. Also, I'm performing live in Asheville, North Carolina, Portland, Maine, and Montreal in the coming days. Go to LeeCamp.net for the details. Keep fighting. Take back the land. We growing food on rooftops to make sure the hunger stops. But if we liberate the soil, we running the cops. The blue walls of silence, shutting dissent with violence. Too many kids are falling asleep to the sound of sirens, while their parents are learning to believe in